Similes, it's Deligracy here, and welcome to another speed build video, but this video is actually going to be very different to any of the videos you have seen on this channel, because this is actually two speed builds in one. I don't know what was going on, but I was building so quickly and I was just like smashing out the builds, and I was actually trying to build a new house for the Parenthood Let's Play for my characters Clarice and her daughter Bailey, because Judy, the grandmother in that Let's Play, just passed away, and I wanted them to have a new house to move to kind of start fresh. And I was having a bit of difficulty trying to figure out exactly what kind of house I wanted them to live in. And a lot of you guys commented that you thought an older looking house or a classic looking house with a modern interior would really suit them quite well. So for the first half of this build, I am building one optional house for them to move into. And this house is kind of Victorian inspired. It's also, I suppose, inspired by some of the townhouses, old Victorian townhouses around Melbourne, where I live in Australia. And yeah, I was looking at pictures of London townhouses and I was like, I like these. So I was kind of going for that aesthetic, but in the end, I didn't quite like it. So I then move on to a Scandinavian modern build, which is a lot simpler. So that's going to come halfway through this video, but I just thought, you know what, I may as well show you guys the process of building the first house, because I did the whole exterior and I think part of the interior. So I'm really curious to see which one you guys prefer. So make sure you vote for which house is your favorite. Because yeah, hopefully you guys like the Scandinavian one, because that's one I've chosen them to move into. But yeah, I guess we will see. So I wanted this to have classic elements like the really old school kind of archway there before the front door. And these Parenthood windows, I was using those windows because it is my Parenthood Let's Play. So I thought, oh, I need to use the Parenthood windows. But in the end, I thought that they weren't old vintage looking enough. Like, they didn't look classic enough for me. So I actually end up deleting them and using the windows from the Vampire game pack. And the Vampire game pack, I think, is an amazing game pack for builders because it has so many awesome items to build with and to furnish with. So I definitely recommend that pack, even if you're not that into supernatural sims. The only thing is you will have vampires in your game and you might not want that. So, you know, that's the only thing if you do get the vampire pack. But then again, I never have been into supernaturals, but I had a lot of fun with vampires. So, and I actually still need to complete that Let's Play, but it's been so long. I'm like, I haven't done that Let's Play for ages. But I need to go back. I need to finish it for you guys. I need to do it for the Similes. That's right. That's you guys, in case you didn't realize. So yeah. This house is, obviously we're just working on the front of the house, which I often do before shaping the sides and the back of it. And sometimes I'll build with the interior in mind, but most of the time I like to make the exterior and then I just think, okay, I'm just gonna do the interior when I get to it and just hope for the best. So now we're working on the sides. I love these, I suppose making these bay windows by having those angled walls there kind of stick out from the home. Quite like that. And my idea was, like I said earlier, that this house would be old school at the front, like it was somewhat of a heritage building. So if you lived here, you would have to maintain the front of the house as being old Victorian style. However, if you owned the place, you could do whatever you liked to the sides and the back of the house. So you could add in bigger windows and make it more modern. So that's what I ended up doing. I added big windows in at the back, very modern black windows, which is quite harsh against the white. But I love that juxtaposition, so that's why I did it. And oh yeah, I do the whole floor plan. So I figure out where the dining table is. Of course, that furniture is just placement furniture. It's not what the final furnishings would be. It's just so I can see how the furniture would fit in. So I know the dining table fits perfectly there. This is a nice little lounge room at that bay window, and I can figure out where the kitchen is going to be, the staircase, etc. Which I like to do that. A lot of people don't, but other builders don't do that. But I'm like, I don't know how they, like, do they have superpowers where they just know everything's going to fit? Are you one of those people who just know? Oh, gosh. Also, I just had a house inspection, or someone come to inspect where I live right now. The real estate agent, because they just do a routine inspection now and then to make sure I haven't like punched holes in the walls or anything. So I assume most countries that's what you do, like if you rent a place or lease a place. So anyway, this lovely girl came in and was just like marking on her notepad that everything looks okay. At least I hope so. I think it looks okay. And then she saw these builds on my computer and was like, oh my God, is that The Sims? I was like, yes. And she was like, yes. And we had like a chat about The Sims. And she's like, I didn't know that was your job to make videos for YouTube. I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. And it just made me really happy because I love when people know The Sims. And I'm like, yes, instant friend. Instant friend. I know that if I was at an awkward event, I could just sit there and talk to you the whole time and everyone's happy. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know what I was doing with the staircase here, but I was full on struggling to decide whether I wanted a balustrade or like a fencing at the top or just along the staircase. So I was doing both and looking, which do I prefer? I don't know why, but for some reason I wanted a glass balustrade and not the staircase. Not the staircase, balustrade. I think I just confused so many of you guys. So just ignore what I said then because we figured it out in the end. But yeah, this is almost the front of the house done. And my idea was to actually repeat the houses on either side of this because this is actually being built in Newcrest. So I thought I would just repeat the exact same townhouse on either lot beside this and then recolor them. So it's kind of a street of the same home, essentially. Now we're putting in some of the modern windows so you can see them being placed in. And Clarice, if you guys don't watch the Let's Play, she's very much a neat freak. She loves everything to be clean, crisp, most things to be brand new, lots of natural light, simplicity, because she's also a workaholic. So she needs everything perfect in her life. Bailey, on the other hand, isn't like that. Her grandmother, Judy, was really a little bit hippie, I guess. She loves nature and spirituality, and she did painting in the backyard naked whilst Bailey was at school. Don't worry, not in front of the kid. And so she was totally different to her daughter, Clarice. But yeah, I just thought this would work really well for Clarice. And they have quite a bit of money now. Clarice has a really good job. She's almost level 10 of the business career, so she's absolutely slaying right now. So they can move into a much bigger house to where they are now. And although for this house, it might not be able to be fully furnished, but we could furnish it pretty quickly over time. So yeah, this was pretty much where I got up to. So you can see the big open windows there and then the more classic front of the house. Oh yeah, we will change the windows to the vampire ones in a sec too. I just think the juxtaposition between the vampire windows compared to those modern square ones at the back are a lot better. And there's 2 big bedrooms, one with an ensuite, another upstairs bathroom, or if you wanted that upstairs bathroom to be something slightly different, it could be like a study or a second bedroom perhaps. And I love these white floorboards. I love them. I haven't chosen the wall color yet. I'd say that I would have changed those wall colors to something else. But we do put in tiles in the kitchen, and Clarice likes everything to be wet and bright. You know what I mean? She likes it to be, Oh, and there you go. There's the vampire windows. And I put some modern windows at the front too, those big open ones. But I was like, I can't decide if I want them there or not. So we might actually end up getting rid of them. And then that classic London house or London apartments look with the black against the white contrast, which doesn't look the best in this afternoon lighting in The Sims, I have to say. Sometimes whites in The Sims 4 I'm not 100% happy with, but it's a difficult color to get right in games. And you'd think white should be really easy, but it's kind of not. And everyone has a different opinion on how white they want white in games. And I was the person who in Sims 3 always went to the whitest, brightest color for sheets and things in the Sims 3 when I could color them. Whereas other people would be like, oh no, that just looks unrealistic. So yeah. You also needed to put some columns in. It does look quite pretty. It does look really pretty with those columns at the front. It is a pretty house. But we're going to build another one. And oh my gosh, I hope I didn't just delete this house. I hope I saved this build. Oh my gosh, you guys, I might have not even saved this. I should open up The Sims right now and check on that, because that would be an absolute crisis if I did not save this, because I kind of wanted to upload them both. But do be aware that the second house is furnished, but this one isn't. So yes, I'm loading up The Sims 4 right now. We better check on this. And I like how the backyard's fully fenced in. I think Clarice would really like privacy and a sense of security. So she would have all of that stuff covered. And we're also going to do a little bit of gardening as well. So and I love that mailbox. The Windenburg letterbox, which is a good time. Just some hedges in, white flowers. And yeah, let me know what you think of this one. I'm so curious to see if you guys prefer this house or the next house we're going to build. And let me know in the comments down below if you like 2 builds in one, or if it's just not your cup of tea. If you prefer one build. Do let me know. Okay, so I'm just checking to see if we still have this house in the game. Oh, thank goodness we do. We do have it, you guys. So if you guys voted heaps for the first house, then we could actually still move into it. But I'm going to let you guys choose. And that is lucky. Anyway, this is the second house we're building in today's video. So this is the Scandinavian inspired build. It's in Windenburg this time. So I happen to love the positioning of this lot. I love how that road kind of just finishes in that circular shape. And then here we're going extremely simple. This is a really, really simple build, which suits the previous build we did for The Sims 4 Parenthood. I just wanted really clean, easy gameplay for this series, and I just felt like the characters suited a clean house like Clarice. Everything's really perfect, everything has a home, it wasn't like a cluttered space, so this is deliberately simple. And simple builds are fun in The Sims 4. I love simple things. One of my favorite builds of all time would have to be the Sim Supplies Island Paradise house. Was that Island Paradise or Luna Island? Island Paradise Let's Play build. I loved that house so much because it was still a really irregular shape but really simple floor plan, and that's my favorite way to play The Sims. So yeah, we're just extending this just so we can fit 3 big windows in. That's 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2 deli. And yeah, you can see that there's that nice peaked roofing against the upstairs part, which is going to be Clarice's bedroom. Like a somewhat mezzanine level, it's open staircase up to the bedroom. And it kind of in a weird way reminds me of a farmhouse. I don't know why. I tried red because I don't know, that's like my first color I go to for a Scandinavian styled house. But I thought this greeny blue color, teal color was really nice, and a color I don't use very often. I also wanted to put some chimneys in. I don't even think this has a fireplace now I think of it though, but I just put the chimneys in because I think it looks a little bit more realistic. A few pavement stepping stones at the front to get into the house. I think the rounded stepping stone objects actually would have worked really well there. I might change them. I'm not sure because they would have looked really nice from Get Together, I believe they were from. And the garden's really simple, really easy to maintain because Clarice would not like getting her manicured hands dirty very often. And this is definitely like a fresh new lot for Clarice and Bailey to start a new fresh life in. It's a whole different world, which is good. And now we're about to figure out the floor plan. So again, I'll probably be placing some kind of furniture in here as basic furniture, but then towards the end of the build, we fully furnish this. So it's totally ready for them to move into. It also fits their budget perfectly, so they can move from their old house to this house and have, I think, a few $1,000s left over. At least I hope I figured it out correctly. So this is Clarice's room upstairs. There was a bed and an ensuite you could see just then. And then this is going to be the small dining area. The kitchen and living room's going to be open plan. The counters were a little bit tricky. I had some trouble with them figuring out the shape of them. And then over here is Bailey's room and ensuite, which I thought came off a nice corridor or hallway. It's a good size for a teen, I think. It's not too big, not too small. And yeah, having that little corridor down to a room really shows that the place is spacious and easy to breathe in. And then this is going to be the lounge room area. So the TV's against the blank wall, not against the window, sorry. And then over here is, again, like I said, us working on the kitchen. And I was like, oh, what kind of counters do we have? I have to be honest, one of the things that I'm most frustrated with are counters in The Sims 4. I really dislike the textures or the lack of texture on half of them. I say this a lot, but they just, like this white one, it's not even a stone top, it's not a wooden top, it's just like a blank color swatch, which is handy sometimes, but now that the game's been out for a while, I just want plain counters that have textures on them. And I really love the timber top on the other counter, but I don't love the industrial drawers and stuff all the time. And the timber doesn't suit the flooring, so I was like, oh, I'm going to get rid of those. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't all match. So that frustrates me a lot. Do I end up using the timber ones, actually? I don't think I do. I do love these stoves, though. They came with the Sims 4 Parenthood. And over here, we're going to have a little desk area again. They have this in their old house right next to the kitchen, and I liked how that worked. I thought it worked really nicely. So we've just got that in there, and there was the space for it. Alternatively, you could put a bar in there, I think. That would look pretty good and be easy. So yeah. And then these white tiles, I do actually end up changing those. I just didn't like them. So we do change them in a little while, and I think that stove's going to be changed to a blue color. You could see then how much I was moving the camera because I was looking at those tiles and I was thinking, I don't like them. There's something about them. Or should I keep them? I don't know. And then here is Bailey's ensuite. So just going to put a shower in there, a nice little sink from The Sims 4 Parenthood. I love those sinks. I've chosen the blue ones to match the blue accents in the house. And this is the main bathroom that we're working on right now. So this was actually quite spacious to work with, and sometimes that makes it really difficult to figure out where to put everything. I was like, we could have 2 basins there, but then that wouldn't make sense. So instead I put 2 shelves here for a bit of bathroom storage. And in the end, I think this bathroom works quite well. Just going to put a nice simple rug in there. And I think this house, the descriptive word for this build would be simple is best. Less is more. Know what I mean? Yeah, it's all looking pretty fresh and open at this stage, and everything's light. which is definitely my taste. I say this a lot. I build a lot to my taste because that's just what I enjoy. But I do need to mix it up for you guys. I realize you guys are hanging out for some more traditional builds as well because I do a lot of contemporary. But don't worry, I have that in the back of my mind. I mean, the other house was half more traditional looking. What do you guys reckon now? Do you guys like this one better or the other one better? You've got to vote. Vote, vote, vote. If you click the top right hand of this screen, there should be a little exclamation mark point. If you click on that, that's where you can vote for which is your favorite house. And if heaps of you guys liked the other one, then I would probably move Bailey and her mum into the other one instead of this one. But in any case, this is a nice finished house that's on the gallery for you guys to use. And it was enjoyable. And because it was simple, it didn't actually take that long. I was watching one of James's streams whilst doing this. And I was like, oh, this is my fave, building while someone else plays The Sims or builds in The Sims. Oh, those counters can be really tricky sometimes. And then I was like, oh, do we have black chairs? No, these chairs aren't working. And I thought, okay, these look simple and clean. Let's use those. And those black lights hanging are from The Sims 4 Get to Work, I believe. I quite like them in the color black. They're meant to look a little bit clinical, I think, for hospitals, but I just really like them. I think they're a cool, funky shape. Putting some shelves in here. I love these shelves with the little wooden accent on the end of them. I think they're really sweet. And we did need some blinds in this house because, like I said, Clarice would be all over having a bit of privacy in the home and security. So, yeah, lots of nice, easy blinds. Fruit bowl, because fruit bowls are awesome and just add life to a room. And that little desk area, I haven't put a chair there yet or a computer because I just wanted to, just in case they couldn't afford to move in, the computer was expensive. So I was like, oh, I'll just leave that out for now and then buy it once they move in because it'll take like a second. This is going to be the lounge room. And what couches do we pick for here? I've actually forgotten. Oh, yeah. This couch perfectly matches the blue on the walls. So I thought that was so Clarice. I was like, yes. And we're actually going to be changing all the white walls to cream because it goes perfectly with the flooring. So in the end, the colors in this build or the interior of this build harmonize really, really well, which again suits Clarice's perfectionist character. And I liked having one black shelf and one white shelf. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Definitely gives me that Scandinavian vibe as well. And a mirror looks like, or appears to be just sitting on the shelf as opposed to being wall mounted. These rugs, I kind of liked the look of them in orange with the orange chair, but then I didn't think that suited the characters. So I ended up going for something a little more boring and bland, but that is just because of the characters in this Let's Play. Otherwise, the orange chair with that orange rug looked really good, I thought. This little Zen garden. And look how perfectly those colors go together in that lounge room. Love them. And I was like, oh, do we go brown? Do we go blue? Ended up going blue. And these rugs are a really strange texture. I'm not sure if I really like them from the fitness stuff pack. They look like a furry rug, but then they don't look furry. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I was like, I don't want to use them now. The fact that I don't know what texture it is creeps me out. Maybe I have a real thing with texture. I feel like I'm talking about it a lot in these builds. This is Bailey's room, so we want it to look youthful. We're starting off pretty clean and simple. And then once we add posters to the room and fairy lights at the very end, a wardrobe we end up having to squeeze in, it ends up looking like definitely a teen bedroom in my eyes anyway. Right now, it's just too perfect. Looks like Clarice's room when she was a teenager, perhaps. So we're going to add some color to the walls, dress it up a little bit, have some fun with it. And there's that teal color coming in again into the bedroom. Bailey actually likes a lot of color, so we do try and add in some kicks of color as well. So she has a pink chair here, for example. She has lots of those lotus lanterns around the place. Wardrobe-wise, it was difficult to fit one in, so we end up getting one of the small ones to kind of squeeze in next to the bed. So we'll go back to that soon and add the fairy lights and whatnot. This is Clarice's room upstairs. She would have all white bedding because she's a clean freak, and she would... Oh, I thought we needed to have a little bit of fun with the clock here, so we put that cute little clock in. I mean, the house had to have a little bit of yay in it, a little bit of sparkle in it. So that's what we did. And it's a Parenthood Let's Play, so we needed that organizational board. Oh, and there we go. I actually did part of her room off camera. I must have forgotten to hit record, but you can see that we've introduced purple, mess to the room. So it really looks like Bailey's own space. And Clarice, I felt like she needed a dresser area. So we've got wardrobe going in there. I think we're going to put a lounge. Here are the fairy lights for Bailey's room. Those came with the Sims 4 Parenthood as well. So lots of good build and buy items for you to experiment with. And right now I was keeping an eye on the budget because we didn't want to go over the lot value of 80,000 simoleons. So we just got up to 71,000 and I wanted some money left over. So I was like, okay, I won't go too crazy with stuff, but we still put in the nice expensive mirrors and good rug. We were going to go zebra print, white and black, but in the end I was like, it doesn't really go with that earthy theme of the house. So we're going to change that rug to the more neutral colorway, which I think works better. And above her bed, that's where we're going to put some of Judy's paintings. So I don't think I put anything there for now. And I love these little footstools. I think they look really nice in the house. But anyway, here is the finished house number 2. I don't have screenshots of the first one. Oh, that's annoying. So if you haven't voted yet, you'll have to go back and look at the exterior. I'm so sorry. I didn't take any screenshots of it. But yeah, this is the second house, which I suppose is the house I'm focusing on in this build. And yeah, that's what I completed. Let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. But here is the entrance with all the shoes perfectly lined up, little dining table. We can definitely add a couple more extra chairs to that if we want to. The kitchen, which I changed the tiles. I think those tiles are a bit nicer. This is just a random sim in the lounge room watching the TV. Another one sitting in the corner reading a book. Such a random place to sit and read a book. The main bathroom, my favorite sink. I love that sink. The Bailey's room, which is meant to look like quite a mess. I like it because when I was younger, I used to have posters everywhere and things stuck on walls and fairy lights. I mean, I still have fairy lights, but yeah. And her little study nook there. And last of all, Clarice's room upstairs. So very neat and pristine. So yeah, that's pretty much the house. Oh, and I'll also put in the floor plan. Oh, how good would it be having a bath at that window? So pretty, so nice. Anyway, so here's a floor plan for you guys who request floor plans so you can see exactly how it works and the upper level. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world. I look forward to speaking to you guys really soon.